for those seeking a deeper sense of purpose, a chance to make lasting friendships. To reach higher, to find more.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
Your hauling or moving project has arrived, and College Hunks Hauling, Junk, and Moving has you covered. Honest. Uniformed. Nice. Knowledgeable. Service. College Hunks Hauling, Junk, and Moving.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
Getting groovy on a Friday night. Welcome to George Washington High School, home of the Continentals and the Park Tudor Panthers, the visiting team as they've been all year, along with my broadcast partner, Jarrett Lewis. My name is Joey Lindstrom. And tonight, Jarrett, we are going to see a studded matchup between two squads. Park Tudor coming in with winners of 3 straight, 5 and 6 on the year. Coach Tim Adams telling us that they are ready to go. They've been road warriors all year, and they have this attitude about them that they just cannot be stopped. And the record might show a losing one, but at the same time, I mean, they're rolling with the punches at every stop they go to, and this tour is ultimately their goal is to end it with a championship.
Yeah, what an interesting kind of situation Park Tudor has, been facing this entire year. All of their games have been on the road. They have another one here at George Washington. Like you mentioned, that 3-game winning streak, it looks pretty good. And for a team that's 5 and 6 right now, both these squads are just 1 game below 500. But for Park Tudor, a 3-game win streak looks really nice right now. And you kind of got a tough schedule laid out for you to finish out the rest of this season. But for a team that started 1 and 5 and then 2 and 6, not a very good start for them. They seem to have found some rhythm, between their offense, and both teams don't typically score the basketball very much. But for Park Tudor, they kind of have most of the momentum. They might look a little bit better on paper, but this is a pretty even keel matchup between them and George Washington. Both teams don't typically score a lot of points, but we could see that change here tonight because both teams have what it takes, I think, to kind of light up the scoreboard.
One of the things we were really excited to see is the size of Park Tudor and how that's going to affect Washington. And it all starts with Jermaine Coleman, their 6'7" sophomore. He has been a star this year on the boards and all the putbacks that he has had. And Coach Adams relies on him a lot to have a leadership role amongst the seniors of this group.
Yeah, and for Coleman being 6'7", that could probably be the most interesting matchup tonight is the big fellas for both squads. We're going to see for Washington, Latravion Enright is going to be in the starting lineup. He's at 6'4". And then also James Holder at 6'6", Isaac Liggins at 6'6". For Washington, they have quite the length, quite the size as well. Antoine Hearns is going to come off the bench at 6'7". He's the tallest player that's going to be on the floor. So, me and you typically are more of like the guard style. We like paying attention to how the guard play is going to be in matchups like this. But it could very well come down to who's going to be the tougher player down low and who's going to keep their motor running, trying to keep plays alive, get offensive rebounds, who's going to be able to get that box out and secure a tough rebound down the stretch of this game.
There's a wealth of scoring on both sides over the last couple games, but Washington coming off a win against a tough Indian Creek squad, winning that game 60-52. Again, also coming off a City Alliance tournament loss to Covenant Christian. That tournament just wrapping up last weekend. So, Jarrett, my question to you is, what are we going to see as far as point spread? I mean, what do you think there's going to be a wealth of shooting? Is everyone going to share the ball? Are we going to get a lot of points on the board, or is it going to be more a defensive matchup?
This is probably going to be a real team effort. All 5 guys for both teams getting involved the best way they can. You don't want to rely on one guy to try to do all the work for you. George Washington, they're probably going to play 8 or 9 guys, and hopefully you're going to see all 8 or 9 guys get into the box score. Same thing for Park Tudor. Both these squads are going to want to rely on the 5 that they have on the floor, all 5 guys getting involved. And, if we want to bring a little bit of betting into this as far as like a point spread, it's probably pretty close. It's probably going to be a 2 to 3 point game the entire way. At least we hope. That's what it looks like on paper. These teams are pretty well matched up, so we can see a tight one. Defense is obviously going to play a big part in this one. Both teams are giving up around 50 points a game to their opponents, so as well as what they are doing as far as production-wise on the offensive end. So points are going to be pretty valuable, I think, in this one between George Washington and Park Tudor.
We will see that just in a second. So we have starting lineups for both squads. At least these are probable starting lineups. On the Park Tudor side, number 2, Jermaine Coleman. Number 13, J.C. Glenn. Number 15, Kashawn Taylor. Number 20, Malachi Archie. And number 24, Jordan Bowles. And on the opposite side, Eric Hickenbottom, number 2. Number 4, Isaac Liggins. Number 5, Aaron Hampton. Number 15, for Derek Jackson. And number 50, Latravion Enright. So as both these squads line up for the national anthem, we will take a quick break. You are watching IPSathletics.tv. George Washington Continentals hosting the Park Tudor Panthers, powered by IndianaSRN.
Fraternity. It's a way of.
Hey, it's Keith Myers from Indiana Sports Radio Network. Well, thank you that you're watching the game tonight on IndianaSRN. If you would like to know more information about IndianaSRN, send me an email, coach@IndianaSRN.org. As vice president of this company, we hope that you sit back and enjoy the game. It's IndianaSRN, where you're always in the game.
Hey, welcome back to George Washington High School. Joey Lindstrom along with my broadcast partner, Jarrett Lewis. Tonight's matchup featuring the Park Tudor Panthers, the Road Warriors of the state of Indiana, not having played one single home game. They have been nothing short of excellent given their circumstances to not be playing a game at home. Coming into this game 5-6 in the Pioneer Conference, playing visitor to the Washington Continentals 6-7 in the Greater Indianapolis Conference. Jarrett, tonight's matchup features these squads that both have this certain attitude about them. What can we expect to see right out of the gate from both squads?
Well, I think a really good start could play pretty crucial. Both these teams might want to get out and run a little bit, try to pick up the tempo, the speed of the game, try to get as many fast break opportunities as they can. You get that rebound, you get it to one of your guards, and you let them push it up the floor, try to make something happen with, if you have the numbers there, obviously. So a good start could play out to be a pretty crucial. Obviously, you got to hit your free throws. We've had a lot of games lately where free throws down the stretch have been crucial. They, obviously you want to be able to go to the line and get yourself some points, and possibly, if it comes down to it, one of those teams is going to end up getting into the bonus. You got to go to the line. You're going to try to, climb back into it if you're down, or you're going to try to extend the lead and keep it out of reach of the opponent. So if you get to the free throw line, that's always a plus. A good start and hitting your free throws could end up being the breaking point in this game between these two.
We're getting ready for tip-off. It is brought to you, by Officially Human. Officially Human's foundational goal is to restore respect to the game's officials and recognize them as authorities on the fields and courts. Check out their website, officiallyhuman.com. We're underway here at George Washington High School. Fast start so far. George Washington is all about passing the ball around when they get those right shots.
How about Enright getting a touch there at the high post? And, he's a big fella. Obviously, he's going to be playing down low on the blocks, but he might be able to knock down a shot from that spot as well.
Park Tudor maneuvering it around. That's Keshawn Taylor down in the low block, and he'll go to the line, shoot two.
And it may have been Enright who's going to pick up this first foul, and it is. So, for Park Tudor, we talked about their length. We talked about the length as well for Washington. But Enright has more body on him. He's got a lot more muscle. So, if he ends up in foul trouble, that's a type of body that I'm sure Coach Hogg for Washington is going to want down low to be able to box out and get those boards.
Taylor knocking down his first shot. Missing the second. A good offensive rebound inside. Loses it, and Washington recovers. This is Antoine Hearns knocking it down.
Pretty quick offense. Hearns looked real comfortable in that shot.
Here's a three ball. So Park Tudor facing up against a George Washington zone defense tonight, which we usually see them in a man set. And already, in Antoine Hearns, the last game I called for Washington, he was out, and that was about a week and a half ago. So it's interesting to see him back in the lineup tonight.
Moving screen, going to go the other way. A quick empty possession from Washington. And that one's going to be on Enright as well. Not the start if you want for Washington, with Enright picking up that moving screen now. And you're talking about that zone defense. Washington, they have the athletes. The zone is about, if you're Park Tudor, you want to make quick passes and find the open man. That way you're trying to beat the shifting defense of Washington. So if you make those quick passes, you're in good shape.
A nice block by Hearns. Washington on the brigade now.
And the length of Park Tudor, as that shot misses everything.
So Hearns follows up his block with a not-so-great shot. This is Johnson.
But look at the guys that are out on the top of this 2-3 zone of Park Tudor. They're guards, but they're so lengthy. They got long arms. Those are the type of guys you want in the top of the 2-3 zone, able to cut you off if you try to dribble into those lanes, and also be able to deflect passes.
A three ball from Hickenbottom. And here come the Panthers. And a carry call, and that'll be going towards George Washington's direction. Can't have that when you're in the transition game, and Coach Adams knows those silly mistakes don't help you win ball games.
Yeah, it looks like Park Tudor wouldn't mind trying to get out and run, get it to one of your guards, push it up the floor. Right there, a little indecisiveness, I think, from the part of Glenn.
Here's Hearns again off the front iron.
That time Park Tudor switched back to the man defense, so it looks like they're going to be able to give a couple of different looks, and they're going to be able to switch on them whenever they want.
Bowles looking for someone to pass to. This defense is just swallowing Park Tudor right now. Inside, J.C. Glenn will go to the line.
It's a really nice, tough take from Glenn. Even though he has all these guys from Washington surrounding him, he decides that he can split the defenders and draw the foul.
No good on the first one.
Points are hard to come by with about 3 minutes played here in this first quarter.
George Washington, 3 fouls already. Park Tudor, 2 for 4 from the line. Hickenbottom, a good driver, has a really nifty floater. He's got the ability to put a lot of touch on the ball. This one's from Johnson. That rims out. Oh, and the attempt to save doesn't go in the direction of Park Tudor.
And Taylor maybe trying to play it safe, as looked like it was Liggins and Glenn possibly that tipped that ball towards the baseline.
Hearns in the low post makes a nice move up and in. Antoine Hearns, they're happy to have him back again. And more trap defense from George Washington, giving Park Tudor lots of trouble, Jarrett.
Yeah, whoever had that basketball on the left wing, looks like Washington, if they see that there's a weakness, they're going to try to bring a guy over and double. And that was a perfect spot to do just that. This defense, active hands, really swarming to the basketball, just like right here.
Jordan Bowles looking for somewhere to go. Here come Washington. Up and no good. This is Malachi Archie, cross-court pass, 3-ball from Coleman. And a nice rebound and another foul. That's Washington's 4th, sending Keshawn Taylor to the line for the 2nd time.
Nice pass across the floor. Sometimes that's what it's going to have to, that's what it's going to take. You know, Washington, if the ball's on one side of the floor, you know, all 5 guys are going to shift. The help side defense is going to be, you know, around the block, maybe middle of the lane. You know, they want to be able to cover enough space if a cross-court pass like that is made. So good look there, good attempt from Park Tudor, and then a failure to box out from Washington.
Another knockdown for Taylor. He's got 2 points, both coming from the free throw line. Park Tudor shooting 50% from the line so far. This is kind of the pace we expected to see from both sides. They do put a lot of shots up. Here's Aaron Hampton. Travis Balance going back to Hampton. Balance again. Tries to go up, gets blocked. Here comes Coleman and the Panthers. Up and a layup is good.
Coleman covering a lot of ground on that fast break.
Yeah, I think he went from the volleyball line or something. Tried to get just 2 steps and in.
Took about 2 dribbles and not very many steps.
So Park Tudor takes the early lead with Coleman's fast break. Maybe it's just what the Panthers need to propel some instant offense. Down into Hearns. Park Tudor now on the prowl. Feeling himself is Coleman. A push off. Looks like that one's on Keyshawn Taylor.
First foul, I believe, going against Park Tudor. Now, with Coleman, he has that fast break layup, but watch him when you get a chance. Watch him on the defensive end, because whoever he's guarding, when they have the basketball, he is going to be well beyond the three-point line picking them up. He's going to be able to cover a lot of ground and try to cut guys off if they try to drive past them.
George Washington looking for some kind of cutting lane. Interesting to have Hearns guarded by Bowles. Now triple team tries to get down to Liggins. But it will remain with the Continentals.
Good idea from Hearns, and with Liggins trying to make a cut, but good recovery there by Archie.
Liggins down low. Converts. So Isaac Liggins, his first points of the game.
Both times there that Continentals were looking for Liggins. He made pretty nice backdoor cuts.
Usually a frequent scorer for the Continentals is Isaac Liggins. And he's got the length, he's got the stroke, and he knows how to finish too. Can't convert on the N1. Park Tudor now. This is Bowles. Out to Bryce Petty. Got it. Bryce Petty checks into the game. Instant offense from him.
Good looking shot there by Petty. You make those quick passes. Washington is late to react and recover.
Foul. Hard on Liggins, and he'll go to the line again. So Bryce Petty follows up his beautiful three ball with a foul on Isaac Liggins, sending him to the line. So Liggins 0 for 2 from the line so far. This is Coach Aaron Hogg's first year with George Washington. It's his second year overall as a high school coach. 6-7 in your first campaign, not so bad.
No, not bad at all.
For a program that has had several good years, a few down years. Our last sectional championship coming back all the way back in 1994. Liggins missing his both free throws of his, if I can get my words right.
Also a program that's going to play a lot of Indianapolis schools that are pretty good.
Traditionally very good in IPS. Panthers back on the prowl. And that was a beautiful shot. Floater from Bowles.
No foul called there, no charge, no blocking foul. Just referees letting them play. Good take there from Park Tudor.
Liggins. Oh, good. Hearns can't corral it. Here come the Panthers. A three ball. Yes! Jordan Bowles, 2 buckets in a row. Hits the three-pointer. Goes to a timeout. 5 points in the last 2 possessions for Park Tudor. Just a 30-second timeout, so we will keep it here. And we'll get to hear from Alley Cat Gymnastics. Hey, do you have a child attending a daycare or preschool in the greater Indianapolis area? If you do, are they interested in gymnastics or maybe a Ninja Warrior class? That's cool. Alley Cat Gymnastics is a mobile program that brings the fun to your child's school or daycare. Alley Cat Gymnastics provides all types of equipment and lessons to develop your kiddos' general gymnastics schools, even offer Ninja for your little warrior. For more information, you can visit their website, alleycatgymnastics.com, or call them 317-820-9484. And we get to see that replay again. All of a sudden, the Park Tudor offense has exploded in the last minute.
In the blink of an eye, they've they've made a little bit of a run here. Now it's up to a 7-point game. This team is definitely capable of doing that. George Washington, it is the first quarter, but you definitely want to try to get a bucket here, maybe two, as this final 50 seconds winds down.
I'm sure Coach Hogg had wise words of wisdom for his guys to get their offense going, but it looks like the ball will be in favor of Park Tudor for an illegal screen or just maybe an elbow.
No, whoever made that move, I think it may have been
Hearns.
It was Hearns. He made a spin move. They said that elbow came flying. Came in contact with whoever was guarding him from Park Tudor, so they're going to get him on the offensive foul.
Washington now going into full court press mode. Bryce Petty bringing the ball up, looking for an outlet. Coleman's there to corral it. Here's Bowles. Goes up again, a little bit awkwardly, but a nice rebound down low. That was Caleb Harris. Bowles again for three. Washington will retain possession with the over the back from Harris.
Bowles was looking for his chance to put up that shot from the left wing. He got it on the second attempt, and he was feeling it. He wasn't going to let the rest of this clock wind down and take that final shot. So when you're comfortable like that, you're a guy like Bowles, you're gonna try to put up shots like that. But here's a good opportunity for Washington to take the rest of this 22 seconds down and get their best possible look.
Park Tudor now. Down into Liggins. Another block, and here come the Panthers again. A little bit of an awkward shot at the buzzer, but it goes in! What a knockdown! Beautiful shot from Malachi Archie, number 20. And that'll take us to the end of the first quarter. Our score is Park Tudor 15, George Washington 6. You're watching boys basketball, powered by IndianaSRN.
Piper Group Warehouse has a strong commitment to their clients as their logistics provider. If you would like to discover how you can improve your service levels while lowering your overall cost, Piper Logistics Group can help. Call Greg Piper today at 317-396-3916. Piper Logistics Group.
Your hauling or moving project has arrived, and College Hunks Hauling, Junk, and Moving has you covered. Honest. Uniformed. Nice. Knowledgeable. Service. College Hunks Hauling, Junk, and Moving.
Welcome back to George Washington High School. Correction on that buzzer beater, that beautiful rim-in shot from Malachi Archie. It was actually a three-pointer instead of a two, so our count is 16-6. Jarrett, that was kind of a wild first quarter. The beginning was a bit slow, but later on, Park Tudor just caught fire.
Yeah, that first 4 minutes of that first quarter, both teams kind of struggling to score. Looked like a rim was on, or a lid was on both rims on both sides. A lot more free throws were put up from the Panthers. They kind of struggled from the free throw line, but that last 4 minutes, they started to catch fire a little bit, got some nice shots put in from Bowles, Petty with a three, and then Archie to finish off that first quarter with that floater from the top of the key to go down, get that lucky roll.
That was nice. Park Tudor starts out the second quarter with the ball. Trying to find the areas. Here's Coleman for three. Hickenbottom on top for the Continentals. Trying to get it on to Liggins, but here come the Panthers. An attempted dunk is no good from J.C. Glenn, and he'll go to the line. Blocked away. I shouldn't say no good because I think it would have been good had he not gotten fouled, but nonetheless, he'll go to the line and shoot two.
Good effort by Liggins to track down Glenn and kind of alter the dunk. If Liggins isn't there, that's a two-handed flush from Glenn. Kind of a lazy pass, however, from George Washington up top, and that led to the steal.
J.C. Glenn, a 6'4" senior. He got up there. Liggins had no choice but to foul him, but he makes both. So a 12-point game in the beginning of the second quarter here. Park Tudor, not a great start, but now they've caught fire.
And they're looking really good now, up 12, largest lead of the game. Plus, Washington has 6 fouls, so the next one's going to put the Panthers in the bonus.
You can see the movement, too. Donovan Johnson now here in Enright. Enright losing the ball to the post. And another turnover from Washington.
Yeah, Washington's hoping now that Enright's back in the game, maybe they can find just some sort of momentum, maybe change their play style offensively with him back into the ballgame with 2 fouls.
Jump ball sends the ball Washington's way. Coach Aaron Hogg trying to get the feet under his squad. Enright, low post, another block. J.C. Glenn stymieing down low, but he'll get called for the blocking foul.
Park Tudor coaches, they didn't like it too much. I think Glenn's going to pick up that one. But I like how Washington, Enright comes back into the game and back-to-back possessions. They're trying to get him some lane touches. And he stuck with that possession, kept it alive, kind of bullied his way down there on the block, and earns a trip to the free throw line.
Makes his first as well. Enright, a force down low, a little bit stronger than maybe his defenders all season, and they use that to their advantage. So he goes 2 for 2 from the line. Maybe not a guy you want to send to the line if you're Park Tudor. Full court press. Oh, and a bit of a jump ball will be. It sure will, and it will remain with the Panthers.
Nice job there by Donovan Johnson, able to get his arm in there on that basketball. Arrow stays with Park Tudor. You like the effort there. The press from Washington, you got to appreciate them sticking with it, even though, down 10, you're going to want to try to make something happen defensively.
Archie. Washington rebounding. That was James Holder. Another steal for Park Tudor. Here comes Taylor. So Bowles trying to just toss one up, gain a foul. But no dice.
Panthers would have loved to see Bowles, driving that baseline. If there's a lot of congestion there, not much doing for putting up a shot. Any shot you put up is going to be pretty well contested. Want him to keep his eyes up, maybe look for one of those guys in the corner, because he had one guy to choose from in the corner. I believe it was Petty. And if somebody closes out on Petty, Petty's able to swing it on the right wing to another teammate. You make that extra pass.
Yet another travel here from Washington. And Park Tudor has every advantage in the world, Jarrett, to go get points if they don't shoot themselves in the foot when they get down there.
Right, and I think that time looks like they tagged Enright with another foul. So Enright now has 3. Just 2 points to his credit as well. Still 5:49 left to go in this first half. He's going to have to take a seat again.
And you definitely want your big body block down there. Nice hustle here from Washington. And a timeout for Park Tudor. Coach Adams getting his guys together. This will be a 30 seconds, so we'll keep it here.
Nice job by Coach Adams getting that timeout in. Washington's really looking to, react quickly, read those passes that Park Tudor's trying to make, and go after those steals. They're going to get more, I think, risky they're going to try to go after steals a little bit more now, down 10. So I think Coach Adams with a nice timeout here as he saw Washington was getting risky with those passes.
Hey, whether you're exploring the local area or hanging out at the campground, KOA holidays are an ideal place to relax and play. There's plenty to do with amenities and services to make your stay memorable. Make your reservation now for the 2021 season. Give us a call at 317-849-1397, located I-70 and Mount Comfort Road. So the Panthers now getting a little out of sorts with the full court press from Washington, dialed up a little bit. But here's Coleman down low. Oh, a block from Hearns. And Hearns, you know, when you lose Enright maybe to the foul trouble or what have you, Hearns is a great guy down in the post. While he has his outside shots, he also can prevent things down in the post and make things happen on the offensive end as well.
Whoever's been patrolling the lane for both teams, I think both squads now have at least 3 or 4 blocks. Hearns getting one there.
Here's Coleman. And a foul against Hearns.
Trying to go after another one was Hearns, getting another block to his total.
First one from Coleman off the front iron. Coleman's first trip to the line. He goes 1 for 2. So Jermaine Coleman, the tallest of the Park Tudor Panther bunch, with 3 points. 19-8 your score, 5 minutes to go.
Pregame, we were really intrigued at the height that both teams presented, and right now it's kind of showing here as both guys are really doing a nice job controlling that lane. Not very many points have been scored inside the paint.
Bowles with a nice steal, trying to turn it into offense for Park Tudor. This is Archie. The defense for Washington has been very impressive so far, as far as getting pressure and keeping on applying it. Here's a shot from Harris. He'll go to the line and shoot 2.
For Washington, Donovan Johnson was kind of patrolling the top of the key area. He was going after anybody that had the basketball for Park Tudor. Caleb Harris did a nice little shot fake from the left wing, drives in, sees that open lane, takes it in, and makes the first of 2 free throws.
We want to thank you again for being with us and spending part of your Friday night with us. If you're watching with the viewing party, let us know. Tweet at us at IndianaSRN. Whether you're watching on YouTube or on the website, we thank you for being here. Be ready for a shout out as well. If you do shout us out, we will shout you out back. Follow us again for all these updates and pregame notifications at IndianaSRN on Twitter. So Washington now facing a large deficit, just trying to get points on the board before half. Here's a shot from Hampton, rebounded by Coleman.
The shots from Washington, Park Tudor is looking superb defensively. They're contesting everything. They're making proper closeouts on guys that are beyond the three-point line, and they're making it difficult offensively for George Washington.
Coach Adams again expressing to us that it's about the patience of the offense. Each of these guys has their own different set of skills, and utilizing them is really important. Here's Harris. Wow, cashing in on his opportunity down low.
Great passing there again from Park Tudor. As you drive in, you're going to attract more eyes. The defense, they have to come over and help. They have to stop the basketball. Harris was left wide open there on the roll.
Donovan Johnson going up. And they will get him for the travel before he gets there. So yet another turnover from George Washington. Facing a 15-point deficit now. 3:13 to go. Park Tudor, as good as they've been in the front court, they've had a lot of trouble in the backcourt getting it across the line, taking a little bit longer than I'm sure Coach Adams would like. But Coleman hits the three when they do get there.
That's one thing about applying that full court pressure is if Park Tudor makes those passes and gets it across the floor, once they get it into that half court, you know, they're going to have the numbers advantage. And right there, Coleman, nice catch and shoot. Defense was late getting there.
Here's a three from Hampton off the back iron. Long pass into Bowles. Coleman there to recover. Liggins with a block from behind. And a timeout from Coach Hogg. What a block by Liggins.
They had one block on the first shot, and then Liggins trailing behind, got the second block.
So full timeout here. We'll take one with them. You're watching boys basketball, powered by IndianaSRN.
You got a broken door, trapped car, you can't buy time.
We take it very seriously and take pride in being responsive.
We have all of Central Indiana covered from Martinsville,
Avon, up to Anderson,
to Cicero.
There's always somebody in your area.
It's important that we're able to get there, same day because people's time is valuable.
On our trucks, we carry just about everything we need to fix a garage door right then and there.
Sunshine, rain, or snow, we're good to go.
Precision Door Service, a name you can trust.
Becoming a licensed sports official is a great way to make a positive difference in the community and support the over 160,000 Indiana student athletes that participate across 21 IHSAA sports. Sports officiating allows you to stay connected to the game, become a role model for our young student athletes, earn extra money, and support the patrons and communities of our IHSAA member schools. To learn more about becoming a licensed IHSAA official, log on to ihsaa.org/officials today.
Welcome back to George Washington High School. We thank you for spending part of your Friday night with us. Park Tudor has capitalized on many of the opportunities given to them by George Washington. There's a bucket from Donovan Johnson, though, to inch closer.
Still another tough shot that Washington has to put up. Good defense by Park Tudor. Johnson able to get it to go. Now here's a quick steal.
Donovan Johnson again. He's feeling it for three.
That's a good way to get back into this one. Now you apply the full court pressure. You don't want to foul either because Park Tudor will get 2 free throws. Just play solid defense here. Try to get a stop. Chunk away at this lead that you're facing.
Coleman trying to get it down into Harris. And another turnover from Park Tudor. So Washington, can they turn this into offense again? We were just saying in the break, Jared, we're waiting for that run, for them to just kind of click it. It's not so much, flipping a switch. It's more just finding the open man. Getting on a little run. Here it is, Hampton. Now a foul committed. That will be George Washington's 10th foul, which means that since it was on the floor, it's bonus time, folks.
And even though they had that missed shot there, still a good offensive possession. Nothing more you can really do if you're Washington. Obviously, you want to make the shot, but you got to be happy with how that possession ended up. And now you just try to capitalize on that. Still a whole lot of game left to be played.
Bowles' first make from the free throw line. Seen relatively the same lineup for Park Tudor all night so far. He knocks down both. 7 points for Jordan Bowles. Travis Balance governing the offense for the Continentals. He gets underneath, and a block from Harris, his second.
It's a block party in George Washington right now.
Yeah, it is.
That was still really good offense by Washington, too. Good move by Balance. He saw the lane, he took it, but points are so hard to come by in that paint right now.
Both teams really tightening up in the paint. Jordan Bowles And he'll go to two. He'll go shoot two. Another blocking foul.
Great cut away from the basketball from Jordan Bowles. He got it on the left wing, and he curled it. So well, that means if your guy is trailing, your defender's trailing, you curl that cut more towards the basket, and hopefully your teammate finds you. You get that basketball with a running start. So as you catch it, you can take one dribble into the lane, and you're going to be met by somebody down low from George Washington, but still, great cut by Bowles going towards the basket.
And you get the opportunity for points. Bowles his third make in a row. Make that 4. Strong free throw shooting in the second quarter from Park Tudor. Donovan Johnson. And 2 big baskets in a row to get George Washington up to 13. He hasn't shot since. And a travel inside. Let's go back to Park Tudor.
It's a good idea from balance. Getting that basketball, you immediately want to make a move, and he tried to split that defense, although I think he was looking to make that move before he got the basketball.
I'm sure we'll see a last shot attempt here. 5 seconds to go. Archie gets blocked by Liggins, but Liggins' foot was on the line. Will they give Park Tudor the chance?
They should. There probably should be at least 1 second on that clock.
I think we know Park Tudor obviously wants it.
Nope.
No, I guess not. So that'll be half. Our score here, 30-13 in favor of the Park Tudor Panthers. Jared Lewis, your first impressions?
Slow start for both teams.
Yep.
Park Tudor, though, they were able to establish something offensively. They had a pretty good first and second quarter from Jordan Bowles. He's leading all scorers right now with 9. Free throw shooting has been much better from the Panthers as well, and they're able to, control their tempo and their pace even when they're facing pressure from George Washington, whether it be, it's an extended 2-3 defense in the half court or whether it's full court pressure. Park Tudor is they're keeping their cool, keeping their composure, and now with a 17-point lead, the largest of the game so far.
We will head to our halftime show. Park Tudor leads George Washington 30-13. IPSathletics.tv, powered by IndianaSRN. We'll be right back.
Piper Group Warehouse has a strong commitment to their clients as their logistics provider. If you would like to discover how you can improve your service levels while lowering your overall cost, Piper Logistics Group can help. Call Greg Piper today at 317-396-3916. Piper Logistics Group.
When you hit that water, you're going to want to look for weeds, sunken structures, down trees, stuff like that. You'll let that breeze tell you where you want to go. Windy days like this, those bait fish will come swimming closer to shore. They'll bring the big boys with them, those bass and those pike. Now, they like cooler temperatures, so you ain't likely to have much luck.
You're good at giving fishing advice. We're good at your insurance. Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and stop knocking on wood.
This is what made me. This is what made me who I am.
Indianapolis Colts select Darius Leonard.
Let's go! The Defensive Rookie of the Year is Darius Leonard. I did everything in my ability to make my dreams come true.
We are at halftime of the 2020 IHSAA semi-state football round. Today we are joined by Assistant Commissioner Robert Falcons. Robert, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
So this has been just an unusual year, to say the least.
To say the least.
Obviously, we had a global pandemic, and just kind of give us a recap of the football season and kind of how it's gone thus far.
Sure. It much like everything else since March, we've had to take our precautions. We had to plan very, very well. And we had to have buy-in from our communities. And we had to have the coaches and the players and the fans understand what it was going to take for us to have a season. And the fact that we're here today is evident of the fact that they bought in. The precautions of wearing the mask, the precautions of practicing in pods, the precautions of keeping their hand sanitizing and social distancing. All those have worked, and we're here today because of the efforts of all the folks involved and want us to have high school football in the state of Indiana.
So studies have shown that extracurricular activities is just such an important part of the growth, and it's part of the curriculum of being a student anymore. Talk a little bit about that.
We've learned a very big lesson. We participated in a study from the University of Wisconsin that showed how important extracurricular activities are to high school students. And it could be band, it could be drama, it could be theater, music, athletics, certainly is what we're dealing with. Kids need that socialization. They need the structure from adults. This is an opportunity for them to learn lessons that they normally can't get in the classroom setting. Not that algebra and biology and chemistry aren't important, they are, but there are other life lessons that can be learned on the playing field. And that's part of the reason that we're doing what we're doing. It's part of the reason that the coaches work so hard and parents allow their kids to play sports. It's for those extra lessons that they get in the educational setting. And we're pretty proud of what we've done. And again, being here today is evidence of the fact that we've had some success.
So now we're at the end of our fall season. We've had 7 fall state championships, which is incredible to think about in the kind of year that we've had.
Absolutely.
But talk a little bit about, there's been restrictions at every venue. Yes. That's no different this next weekend at Lucas Oil Stadium.
And it's further complicated by the fact that we're going to be inside. And once you go inside, those restrictions are really ramped up. As an example, every person attending next week will have to have their temperature checked. They're going to have to be asked questions about some symptoms that they've been have or have not had before they even admit it to the ticket window to give their ticket to get into the game. Same thing's going to be for the athletes getting off the bus. They're going to take the temperature. They're going to have signed a form that says that they're not been exhibiting signs or symptoms of disease. And then once we get in the venue, we're going to have to practice social distancing. We're going to have to wear a mask unless we're having concessions food. It's more precautions for us to provide for the health, safety, and well-being of our athletes. Now, it's going to look a little different. They're going to be pretty much spaced out, and if you've seen the Colts play at Lucas Oil, we'll look a lot like that. We won't be allowing bands for reasons that go along with the social distancing piece of it. We're going to limit the number of people on the field, and so we're going to do our very best to make sure that this state finals goes off without a hitch, given the parameters and the requirements of social distancing and the corona guidelines. But we're very, very pleased and excited to have 6 state championships next weekend on Friday and Saturday, and we're certainly looking forward to having everybody come in and have a great time.
And it all goes back to that. It's just incredible that we're even in the position to hold these 6 state championships next weekend. Assistant Commissioner Robert Falcons, thank you so much for joining us today, and we're going to send it back to you guys in the booth.
Colts fans, score big for your Indiana high school and enter helmets at colts.com/UHC. Helmets is a program designed to improve the health and safety of young athletes. Nominate your Indiana high school and you could be one of 16 weekly winners randomly selected to win a helmets prize pack, and your high school could become a finalist to win new premium helmets valued at $25,000. Suit up, play safe, have fun. Visit colts.com/UHC to enter helmets now.
13,000 feet has a way of testing a man's soul. After all, you were never meant to take on such an endeavor. That long drop is what separates human from superhuman. And here we are, right here, right now.
You're good at motivation, we're good at your insurance. Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and stop knocking on wood.
Your hauling or moving project has arrived, and College Hunks Hauling, Junk, and Moving has you covered. Honest. Uniformed. Nice. Knowledgeable. Service. College Hunks Hauling, Junk, and Moving.
Bertner Electric Incorporated has been proudly serving our residential and commercial customers with quality electrical repair for over 33 years. We are fully licensed and insured in electrical wiring and electrician service packages. You'll receive a competitive assessment, whether you're a homeowner or a business owner, first-time or long-time customer. We offer free estimates for any new project. Call our licensed and experienced electricians today.
Welcome back to Greenwood Christian. George Washington High School. Sorry, we have Greenwood Christian in the other room, and we were just checking on their score. My name is Joey Lindstrom, along with Jarrett Lewis. Our score here, Park Tudor 30, George Washington 13. And Jarrett, this was a tale of two quarters, really, because in the first quarter, Park Tudor was really commanding that towards the end of it. Second quarter, still commanding it, but later on, George Washington went on a little bitty baby run, and then all of a sudden, Park Tudor started to catch fire a little bit, and this second half is going to be really telling of the attitudes of both these squads and their mindset.
Yeah, both teams kind of got off to a slow start. Park Tudor still in control. Both of those quarters, they rode that momentum, some pretty good shooting from guys like Bowles and Petty and Archie, also knocking down a couple three-pointers. And so, and they just kind of kept their composure. Washington, when they got down, they had to bring out the full court press, they had to bring out the trap defense, but Park Tudor, they didn't break. They bent a little bit, but they were able to keep their cool, able to break that press, find their guys. They had the numbers after they broke the press, able to get some easy points, and now they're up 17. This is a pretty dangerous territory for George Washington. They're probably going to still have to go to that trap defense and that pressure, try to create as many opportunities as they can.
That first half brought to you by Bertner Electric. Bertner Electric, we do more than service repairs. We also wire new homes all around the Indianapolis area. You can ask your builder to use Bertner Electric when you build a new home. For free estimates, call 317-565-7779. So George Washington starting out with the basketball. Enright is back in there. He had 3 fouls in the first half. George Washington had 11 team fouls at the end of the first half there. Here's Park Tudor. Bowles had the hot hand in the second quarter. But this one's from Archie all the way downtown. Donovan Johnson with the rebound. He was the one that actually caught fire for Washington. Isaac Liggins has been fairly quiet so far. Bowles with the 30-footer. Got it.
Nice, confident looking shooting there from Bowles. Defender closed out on him. He's going to try to alter that three-point shot, but instead, shot fake. He found his spot just inside the three-point line and knocked it down.
There's Enright in the high elbow. Down low. Then back outside. No good from Hearns.
Nice defense there by Bowles, able to affect that three-point shot from Hearns.
Park Tudor winners of 3 games in a row, having beaten Cardinal Ritter last night. Coach Tim Adams is excited about the run they've been on. if they get this win tonight, they will inch back closer and will be at 500.
Yeah, both teams trying to get back to 500 right now.
Here's Archie for 3, no good. Little off the top. Hey, we want to take a minute to remind you that we're brought to you by one of our sponsors, Alley Cat Gymnastics. If you have a child attending daycare or preschool in the greater Indianapolis area and they're interested in gymnastics or becoming an American Ninja Warrior, they could take a class at Alley Cat Gymnastics, mobile program that brings fun to your child's school or daycare. Call them at 317-820-9484 as Enright hits the outside shot.
It's a nice little piece of Enright's game that sure Washington wouldn't mind seeing a little bit more of, and with 3 fouls, he's going to still try to stay active. He's just a big focal point of that starting 5 that they got in there.
He brings so much physicality down in the low post as well. As Archie takes the 3, and Enright is there to rebound, loses it, and that'll remain with Park Tudor.
Park Tudor's getting lucky getting this basketball back, getting another shot at it offensively. You know, they don't want to try to fall into that hole of just putting up 3-point shots. You like where you're at, sitting comfortable up 17, but you don't want to necessarily keep on taking 3-pointers.
Oh, Archie, that one got away from him. It'll go George Washington's way. Those one-handed passes never seem to work.
Unless you're LeBron James and you're throwing it full court down to Anthony Davis, something like that.
Here's Liggins with a dunk. Flush down, Isaac Liggins. Nice job.
That's great offense from George Washington. They tried to get one of their guys set up in the corner, and if the pass gets there earlier, they're able to put up a nice look from 3, but instead the roll from Liggins off the screen was there too.
Bam, and he got up. I mean, he's 6'6", and he's a senior as well, but, I mean, that was a jam. Hey, Reynolds Farm Equipment, your local full-service John Deere dealer. Browse their selection online or come in and test drive. Get in the yellow seat today. Equipment built to last. Save big. Reynolds Farm Equipment. You can find them at 12501 Reynolds Drive in Fishers. 317-849-0810. Jared, I know you're in the market for a tractor.
You know, where I'm from, I do see a lot of tractors.
Yep.
But
did they bring your tractor to school day?
They sure did.
Okay.
And you know my school participated very well in that too.
I love it.
Eastern Hancock.
Eastern Hancock, that's right.
Very good at drive your tractor to school day.
Well, Park Tudor has been very good at shooting the basketball. And this time, Coleman will be sent to the line. Looks like a number 4, Isaac Liggins, with his 3rd foul.
That's big time for Washington. 3 for Liggins, 3 also for Enright. Nobody else really in foul trouble for either team.
Coleman now with 7 points. We expect a little more scoring from him, and I'm sure we'll get it in the second half. And that he'll take 3 shots, excuse me. I think I said 2 before.
11 team fouls in that first half, like you said, Joey, from George Washington. Park Tudor's free throw shooting was pretty good in that first half as well.
And it continues to be that way. Park Tudor has been pretty excellent from the line, having only missed 3. Donovan Johnson, an immediate scoring threat in that second quarter when he came into the ball game. Quiet in this third quarter. Here's Enright. Gets it to fall. So Latravian Enright, a monster on the boards, now converting 4 points in this quarter.
Good things usually happen when you get that basketball into the high post. Nice steal here from Liggins.
Now Washington with a little bit of momentum. You can feel it. You can feel the energy changing a little bit.
Now you try it again. There it is. You get Enright at that free throw line in that high post area, and he has so many options when he gets that basketball there.
Hearns for three, bang, got it.
Just like we said, you get it to that high post, and then good things typically happen. So against that 2-3 zone, Enright is right there at that free throw line. A lot of defense is going to collapse on him.
And going to shoot two is Keshawn Taylor after he gets the putback. Foul on Donovan Johnson. Let's see that three again. I mean, what a stroke. Splash. And now Park Tudor just with a 13-point lead, being outscored 9-5 in this third quarter.
That three from Hearns is just the second made one of the game for the Continentals.
So Keshawn Taylor continues the free throw fest. They obviously work on it in practice because all these kids are doing exceptional jobs shooting from the line. 2 for 2 from the charity stripe.
Taylor was one of the first scorers of this entire game, and he got to the free throw line 2 separate times, went 2 for 4, but a good start here in this third quarter for him.
Park Tudor strangely changed to that zone when George Washington went on the run, and now all of a sudden they're back in man-to-man. Enright, strong move down low, banks it home. Latravian Enright is the story of the second half so far. 6 points.
And Park Tudor definitely has the height, and we've seen it with a couple of blocks, whoever has that basketball in that lane, but they don't necessarily
10 seconds.
They don't have the body to go up against Enright, and here's good defense to back it up.
Look at this, a nice move down low. J.C. Glenn lost his footing a bit. Enright made him pay, and Washington made Park Tudor pay again. And we were talking at half, we have seen Washington be a second half team all year, and not trying to broadcast or jinx, but we're seeing it again.
We know that they have the ability to make this game close. And with just a little bit of momentum, you'll get the fans into it. You may have saw in that last replay, Enright makes that move. He's tough to guard down there, and the bench is up. He puts it in, and they're off their feet. They're clapping. They're letting him know that they appreciate that. And, you know, just little things like that can help your team slowly crawl back into this ballgame.
Hearns converting only helps that cause. And George Washington High School as well, not to be outdone. They are a hype machine when you go to their games. As somebody figures that out, hey, look no further than Chimney Solutions Indiana for all your chimney issues. Since our very first customer, we've been committed to delivering the highest level of customer care and the most professional and reliable chimney and fireplace services. Technicians are expertly trained and certified by the Chimney Safety Institute of America, so there's no aspect of chimney or fireplace service, installation, repair, troubleshooting that they can help you with. Chimney Solutions. So another foul from Washington. This one on Travis Bowens, his second. So Park Tudor trying to stymie the momentum of George Washington. In the zone of Washington swarming. Almost 3 guys per each traveler in this case, per each Park Tudor Panther. Malachi Archie getting caught walking.
Washington does such a nice job, recognizing when they can bring an extra guy over to trap. That last possession, Balance ended up picking up the foul, but he and Hearns were up top trapping the man with the ball again. Last time they forced the travel, would have gotten the steal anyways.
There's a nice rebound from Coleman. The lead is 11 in favor of the Panthers, 2 minutes to go. Harris back in the game. Got it out to, looks like Thomas Ruffin. And here's a timeout for Park Tudor. Just the 30 seconds, so we'll keep it here. Jared, I got to imagine that there's so much to be said about momentum in basketball. And whether whether you are the team ahead or the team behind, no matter what, like, momentum matters. And doesn't matter what the difference in the scoreboard is.
Yeah, any game can end up being a game of runs. It could start like that with Enright, who he still has those 3 fouls. Maybe that's something that Coach Adams is talking about in his huddle, that they can stay aggressive, keep trying to go into the paint, try to draw fouls, get Enright even more foul trouble. Liggins also has 3. But you talk about, how a game of runs, that may be why Coach Adams is taking that timeout. He sees that his offense is kind of falling out of some sort of rhythm. They only have 7 points in this quarter. So he's making sure, hey, we have this 11-point lead. Let's keep the pedal to the metal. Let's not get it down to single digits.
Here's a shot from Balance off the side of the iron, but it'll stay with the Continentals.
Good extra pass there from the Continentals. Good-looking shot in the corner from Balance. Sooner or later, those are going to fall. Only 2 made threes in this game from George Washington, but still, you got another crack at it, another offensive possession to get it under 10.
Enright, who has had the hot hand in the third quarter, looking for the ball still. Park Tudor back in their zone. They'll stay with the Continentals. There's Balance. Park Tudor sitting in that zone again. Here's Enright looking for some work. Goes up. Doesn't fall for him this time. Enright with 8 points in this game. Trying to hit double digits. You see that trap game again from Washington. Oh, and a foul again from Washington. Or was that a kick? Did I have my signals wrong?
The referee at first made the foul motion, but then he kind of hit his leg with his arm. So maybe he kicked the ball. No referee made an indication to the scores table as a foul. So it looks like a kicked ball.
And here's Donovan Johnson with the turnaround J. Nice rebound by Bryce Petty. Yeah, they're in a bit of a pickle there. They didn't want to get an over and back call. Push off on Liggins, and that is his 4th foul, if I'm correct. Isaac Liggins, a key playmaker, only has 4 on the night, but he's a momentum guy, like we were just talking about. He's the guy that can propel the bench to get involved, to propel his guys to get right. Another turnover. Here's Donovan Johnson. Oh, tried to spin the ball around and lost it.
Try to get fancy with it.
Yep.
Almost made it work. It could have been a pretty spectacular fast break, too. You have back-to-back possessions now from the Continentals where they get the steal, but they still can't get it under a 10-point deficit.
In trouble is Bryce Petty. Gets out to Coleman off a lucky bounce. Coleman goes up. And a charge. Boy, Latravian Enright has been a stud in this second half.
That's a pretty courageous take there from Enright. Knowing he has the 3 fouls, seeing the player Park Tudor kind of coming in, full speed ahead, still stands in there strong and takes it.
Looks like an injury timeout as we see the athletic trainer.
I believe that was either Coleman going in on the drive, but yeah, whoever it is, looks like they're still on the floor.
So we will take a quick break, barring our injury. You're watching Continental Basketball, powered by IndianaSRN.
Bertner Electric Incorporated has been proudly serving our residential and commercial customers with quality electrical repair for over 33 years. We are fully licensed and insured in electrical wiring and electrician service packages. You'll receive a competitive assessment, whether you're a homeowner or a business owner, first-time or long-time customer. We offer free estimates for any new project. Call our licensed and experienced electricians today.
Can't make it to the game? We've got your back. Just go to www.IndianaSRN.org and tune in to all of the live action, or go to our on-demand service and relive your favorite moments.
Bit of a buzzer beater. No good. So Park Tudor leading 37-26. We'll take another quick break. You are watching George Washington Continental Basketball, powered by IndianaSRN.
More fixing, more finding, more being original. Unique like this, trendy like that. More designing this, arranging that. More saving, and then more making it happen. More of your space looking like this, and more of you feeling like that. More excitement, more savings, more furniture, more rugs, more flooring. More affordable luxury from RG Decor.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
Welcome back to George Washington High School. Along with Jarrett Lewis, my name is Joey Lindstrom. Park Tudor leading by 11 points. George Washington had 13 points at the half. Now they have doubled their score in that third quarter, really quite impressively, and it was all led by Latravian Enright.
Maybe a pretty good locker room speech from Coach Aaron Hogg, trying to maybe a lot of fire into his guys, get them going, and which they did, and now good defense here to open it up, force the timeout.
So a nice defensive possession from George Washington, forcing a timeout from Park Tudor. Hey, we want to say a quick shout out to our sponsors from tonight, Morales Group, sponsoring our first quarter. Our second quarter sponsor, College Hunks Moving Junk. Our third quarter sponsor, Piper Logistics. And this fourth quarter is brought to you by your IHSAA. The IHSAA Sportsmanship Program wants to thank their fans for their continued commitment to promote good sportsmanship. Remember, the folks in black and white shirts are just doing their job for our student athletes, so be respectful. Thank you. So Park Tudor, having only scored 7 points in that quarter, Coach Adams was used to probably a little bit more scoring in the first half, as he is used to more often this season. And now we saw them struggling a bit, handling the defense of George Washington as well.
You know, we had a feeling pregame this game could have been pretty high scoring. Both teams have guys that are capable of putting it in the basket, but also these squads, for the most part, are pretty good defensively. And, you know, when you're only allowing teams to score 7 points, 6 points in a quarter, that's pretty good. You like your chances, but you still got a whole 8 minutes left to play.
Foul committed on Bowles. I think that is, that is number 0, Travis Balance. That's his third foul. So a wealth of fouls from George Washington this game. 16th total, 5 in this half.
You know, offensively, they picked it up in that third quarter. Defensively, they have for the most part too, still picking guys up well beyond the three-point line, still trying to trap the guy with the basketball.
Coach Adams trying to get his guys right against this zone. Here's a three. No good out the front. Whoa, nice putback from Bowles. And Enright with a great rebound. Way to corral it.
Good second half so far from Enright. Still with those 3 fouls that he picked up in the first half, but playing a much cleaner game and still being heavily involved.
Strong third quarter from Enright and the George Washington Continental squad. Now looking to compound on their efforts from the third quarter. Enright up top, out to Hearns. Off the back iron. Rebound by Petty. Keyshawn Taylor tried to take it to the rack, but it probably hops off his knee.
I guess so. Kind of an awkward basketball came flying off of his knee.
Yeah.
Good defense there from George Washington, able to cut him off. Didn't quite catch it, but we'll believe the referee for this one.
Hey, we want to give our shout out to our producer, Casey Pierce, and our cameraman, Tellion Johnson, our guy. He's the man. Thanks, Tellion, for being there.
Those two always
do such a great job.
Yes, they do.
Yep. Not to cut off your compliment of them.
You do a good job as well.
3, no good from Hampton. Enright's going to try his hand at one. Off the backboard. Balance goes up, and that's a foul. He'll shoot 2.
How about the smallest guy on the floor comes flying in to get that offensive rebound? A third and a fourth chance opportunity there for George Washington. Those are going to be pretty crucial. Obviously, if you're Park Tudor, you're going to try to limit those, but if you're the Continentals, you want to stay relentless.
Shows the heart of some of these guys on this squad. The smallest guy. Doesn't mean he can't get rebounds too. Balance going over on his trip to the charity stripe. Here's Bowles. Out to Archie for 3, got it. Malachi Archie from deep.
And it all started with Bowles. He's so good with the basketball, and he has such great vision. He knows where his teammates are going to be. He drives in like that. You're going to attract some defenders. They have to come over and help stop the basketball, but you kick it in that corner.
And Park Tudor really needed that too. Oh, Liggins. Wow. We saw the dunk earlier. We didn't know if the circus could get any crazier. He gets an alley-oop at his waist and puts it up.
Nice athletic play from Wiggins as you first see the drive and dish from Bowles.
An absolute circus grab and play from Liggins. He is such an impact player. It feels like whenever he touches the ball, it's got potential to make a big play. Here's Bowles penetrating the defense out to Petty. Gets it to Archie, up and charged. And looks like Archie fell hard.
That's a big-time take from George Washington. Again, it's another little possession where Bowles keeps the basketball in the middle of the floor, does a nice job weaving through traffic, drives and dishes it again. A nice drive baseline, but an even better take to get the charge called by George Washington.
Zone defense from Park Tudor. 11-point difference in the ball game. That and one conversion from Liggins really helped out. Here's Hearns, an impact player himself. Shot. Oh, and a push-off from Hearns. And that will result in a Park Tudor basketball.
And pretty good from that shot, pretty good defense contesting it. Did Park Tudor. They're sticking with this zone defense, and they have the guys up top and down low. They're able to go side to side and cover some ground.
Seems like Park Tudor has figured out the defensive zone. Archie for three. And a foul. Offensive rebounding foul. Liggins so tough down low.
Got a pretty good look, did Park Tudor. Archie coming off a screen. You know, if you set a screen on that baseline on the guy on the one side of the 2-3 zone, so in the bottom, you set a screen on him at the block, kind of where Glenn is standing right now. You set that screen, and you'll get a guy open in the corner just like they did there, Park Tudor. But still, you know, missed shot. George Washington able to still keep it close.
And Liggins converts his first of the bonus. Park Tudor, 7 fouls in this half. Washington with 11 last half, and Park Tudor with 5 in the first half. I don't believe Liggins has missed one free throw yet, and now it is a single-digit deficit for the first time since the second quarter. Here's Bowles. A big floater. Nice rebound by Enright. Washington on the charge again. Enright trying to go down low to Liggins. It's a good look, but Liggins recovers it.
Good idea by Enright. Getting that in the high post. Good cut by Liggins. Pass was nicely deflected, and Liggins able to track that basketball down.
Enright taking a shot. Rebound by Taylor.
I don't think you mind taking that shot if you're Coach Hogg, but now you're halfway through this fourth quarter. Maybe you want some better looks than that. Get some of your shooters open from downtown. You only have 2 made threes in this ball game.
Yikes, and that is Enright's 4th foul. Not to cut you off, but that is huge. He's been a very big benefactor for this second half squad. And now with 4 fouls, he's got to watch out. He's probably going to come out at this point, too.
He may have been pleading his case to his coach. He might want to stay in this ball game, but I think they are going to make the substitution.
Donovan Johnson coming in now. A lot of passionate basketball played out of George Washington. As Petty converts his first of his 1-and-1, so he'll shoot his second. Enright is remaining on the floor. So it looks like Travis Balance was the one to come out. Petty sinks the second one. Enright down low. Strong move. Hearns to follow, doesn't go.
Uh-oh, this
and
might be number 5.
That could be number 5 for Enright. It is. At least by our book. He throws an elbow, trying to get the rebound.
He was really trying to keep that possession alive. He knows possessions are pretty valuable in these later stretches of the ball game.
Sure are.
But that's a big-time foul, and now you're going to have to move somebody into that high post area. If you're still facing this 2-3 zone from Park Tudor, you put somebody else there. And now the possessions might be even more valuable with Enright now on the bench.
So J.C. Glenn hitting his first. Off the front iron on the second. Rebound by Liggins. It's go time for the Continentals.
That's the first missed free throw since the second quarter for Park Tudor.
There's a shot from Hampton. Nice rebound by Balance. Johnson trying his hand. Rebound by Petty.
2 pretty nice looks there from George Washington. Would love to see one of those go down. That's what you're going to need is some quick possessions with buckets.
Park Tudor penetrating that zone and then flushing it outside. Trying to get it to somebody in the post or what have you. There's a shot. No good from Taylor. Donovan Johnson on the break. Gets it to go.
Real nice body control there from Johnson. First the Euro step to make the first guy miss, and then you get up in the air and you hold the ball for an extra half second, able to get that clearance to put up the shot.
Love it. Bowles out to Petty. Now Washington.
Great pass.
You can see their energy, but J.C. Glenn flushing it home.
Really nice passing there from Park Tudor. They've done such a nice job most of this game, just controlling the pace, playing their style of basketball, not letting themselves, play faster than they need to. They've taken care of the basketball pretty well for most of this game.
And also not letting the energy and the momentum that George Washington had get to them as well, and just playing their game.
Yeah, Washington has had a couple of miniature runs, of late, able to get it down to 9 points.
Here's Liggins down low. Again, with the circus plays are crazy. He's made at least 4 of them tonight. And a quick timeout from Coach Hogg. We'll take one with him. You're watching Continental Basketball, powered by IndianaSRN.
Piper Group Warehouse has a strong commitment to their clients as their logistics provider. If you would like to discover how you can improve your service levels while lowering your overall cost, Piper Logistics Group can help. Call Greg Piper today at 317-396-3916. Piper Logistics Group.
Welcome back to George Washington High School. We get to see this again, Jarrett. This feels like just taking the momentum, taking the air out of the arena. J.C. Glenn with a beautiful dunk. Park Tudor penetrating that defense. Back out to Bowles.
Great move there by Park Tudor. There's nothing there down low. No sense in trying to force up a shot.
Here's Glenn again. Nice finish. And they'll get him on a foul. He'll go to the trip for 3. Go to the line.
They pretty much got that on the first round of that possession. They got it down low. Good defense at Washington, able to recover, but then you pretty much get the exact same thing in the latter part of the possession on the other side. Another great cut by Glenn. That time you go up with it, at least draw the foul, and with that he gets the bucket and goes to the line.
So Washington back on the move. Here's Hearns for 3. And a good rebound. That was Archie. And this foul on Liggins. That is his 5th.
I don't think he realized it either.
I don't think he did either. I think he probably wouldn't have fouled him down in the low post. They definitely need him.
They sure do. But now it's, with 1:38 left, might be too little too late. You have guys like Liggins and Enright who both now are on the bench after their 5th foul, and 2 guys that were, one of them was involved in every single offensive possession. So now you're going to have to find somebody else to be your go-to guy. It might have to be a guy like Hearns, maybe Johnson.
Archie makes the first. So Liggins leaves the game with 11 points and Enright with 8. Both great performances coming in the second half. Nice play by Bowles to tip that up and steal it. Here he comes. J.C. Glenn losing it down low. Here's Hampton. Hampton for three, yes. All right, 58 seconds to go. A full timeout. And we will take one with them. 1 minute to go here. You're watching Continental Basketball, powered by IndianaSRN.
Hauling or moving project has arrived, and College Hunks Hauling, Junk, and Moving has you covered. Honest. Uniformed. Nice. Knowledgeable. Service. College Hunks Hauling, Junk, and Moving.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
What have you, IndianaSRN on YouTube. Welcome back to George Washington High School. Hey, Officially Human, one of our great sponsors, their foundational goal is to restore respect to game officials and recognize them as authorities on the fields, courts, what have you. Check out their website, officiallyhuman.com, for more information. So, 10-point lead for Park Tudor. George Washington got as close as 9 in the second half. But Park Tudor felt that momentum in the gym and sucked the air out of it with a great dunk from J.C. Glenn, and then a converted and one from Glenn as well.
Nice timeout called there by Coach Ad. That was getting close to a 10-second call.
And that would have been their second 10-second call. So we'll get a 30-second timeout. I'm going to take a minute to remind you can always, just to follow up on our YouTube channel, you can catch all our games if you did miss this game and watch replays of it, just like we're watching a replay of Aaron Hampton's three.
First points of the game for Hampton. And, one of the scorers didn't really get to mention his name a whole lot.
Yep.
Although we've talked about guys like J.C. Glenn being involved, and really, I've been really impressed with just how Park Tudor's, how they've played when they've been facing pressure from George Washington. Whether, the pressure is in the full court, they've kept the ball in the middle of the floor for most of the game, for the most part. And guys like Bowles have really been. He might be the player of this game, and he has 11 points for Park Tudor, which doesn't lead in scoring. Actually, for Park Tudor, it does. On the other end, you know what? He is the leading scorer. How about that? 11 points for Bowles. You wouldn't think that would lead all scorers, but here he is with the basketball. Every time he's had the ball, he's just done such a nice job of being strong with it, being able to control the pace, keep Park Tudor from turning it over. He's been such a good floor general for them. I think he's been the player of this game.
So Park Tudor trying to kill the clock here. Probably looking to get another basket. George Washington with several fouls. This will be a jump ball. This will be in favor of Park Tudor. 29 seconds to go Lead is still 10 in favor of Park Tudor.
Yeah, this game is going to end up being too little too late. Obviously, credit the effort for Washington. They didn't fall over. When they were down as many as 17 at one point, they kept fighting in, kept sticking with it, kept the game close, got it down to 9 as of late. But Park Tudor, for the most part, has just been able to control the game. They've been strong with the basketball, and that's what's going to do it, allow them to get this 10-point win.
And you can see the hustle and the fight all the way until the clock hits 0 from Washington. That's a Coach Hogg coach team, an Aaron Hogg coach team that is just relentless, does not give up. So Park Tudor winners in this one. They will head to 500, 6-6 on the year, a 4-game winning streak for Park Tudor. Amazing to have this little run. Starting out the season 2-6, now 6-6, headed in their stretch, and they will head next to, because they played all road games this year, they will head next to Heritage Christian on February 1st, then Indianapolis International School on the 4th, Brebeuf Jesuit, and finish with Chittard before the Pioneer Conference playoffs, which will be held on February 13th. As far as Washington goes, they will fall to 6-8. Losers of this one, they will play host to Liberty Christian next on the 4th. Then we'll play at Indianapolis Heron, host Guerin Catholic, at Addicts, at Victory College Prep, at Indiana Math and Science Academy, and head to their conference tournament. Unlike most broadcasters, our funding comes primarily from donations and school subscriptions. On our website, you could help us put more kids on TV by contacting us at coach@IndianaSRN.org. Just hit that donate button on our website, IndianaSRN.org, where you're always in the game. Thank you so much. Jarrett, Lewis, your final thoughts on tonight's game.
Well, Park Tudor, just kind of hitting back on it again, just, it shows the kind of experience and leadership that this team has. You have 3 seniors in your starting lineup and a junior in Jordan Bowles, who I think has been the player of the game. He finished with 11 points, which is tied for all scores after this one. Liggins for Washington ended up with 11 as well. But Bowles just did a nice job of being the floor general, and he kind of was able to lead some mini fast breaks, some full fast breaks. He was active in the top of the 2-3 zone. He got his hands on some passes, which led to some fast break points. Just on both ends of the floor, really impressed with his play, and as a junior, really leading the way for Park Tudor. And another thing I was impressed with was 7 different scores in the box score for Park Tudor. So everybody who hits the floor is heavily involved, and they're playing their role. They play good, solid team offense, and that defense is pretty hectic. And you got to like your chances when you're only giving up 38 points to your opponents. So hats off to Park Tudor. Good effort from George Washington, not giving up, trying to stay in it. Unfortunately, it just ends up being too little too late. You got some of your 2 best players in Liggins and Enright getting into foul trouble, which hurt them a little bit. But all the credit to Park Tudor. They have a tough conference matchup coming up first day of February against Heritage Christian.
That they do, and I'm sure they'll be ready for it on their 4-game win streak. Along with Jarrett Lewis, my name is Joey Lindstrom. We want to thank our producer, Casey Pierce, our cameraman, the superstar, Tellion Johnson. Thank you, everyone, for spending part of your Friday night with us. This has been a presentation of Continental Basketball on IPSathletics.tv, powered by IndianaSRN. Have a great Friday night and a great weekend.